another top 10 for you guys at home to make fun of me for why I didn't complete another game. Because completing a game a week sometimes isn't enough and I need a break, but all of you at home continually want to judge me. Oh, internet, how I love you. In today's day and age, graphics and gameplay are everything. Games gotta look pretty and play fantastic. It's what all the kids love. The craze, the bee's knees. But now take a step back, imagine your favorite game, and watch what happens when they remove the soundtrack behind it. It's kind of awkward, isn't it? Generally speaking, you don't stop and smell the roses known as the music of the video games or films that you consume because they work as companion pieces. They're not distracting, but they complement your video game meals altogether. So today, we're taking a look at my top 10 original soundtracks in video games. Now, as a general disclaimer, you vicious raptors you, this is just my list, and you're gonna see a lot of games I've already talked about before. In fact, every single game on this list is a game I've reviewed except for one. What are yours? Sound off with your favorites in the comments below. After all, it's just an opinion, a game opinion. It doesn't work.
Number 10.
There are very few franchises that take us on the same orchestration journey for many, many years. Yeah, you've got your motifs in Zelda, Mario, and the like, but the one franchise that really has stuck with me over the years is the Street Fighter series. Starting back at Street Fighter 2, all of the main staple heroes have had incredible themes, some of which have transcended into memes. Of course, I'm talking about Everything Goes with the Guile theme, and somehow, after all these years, it still applies in 2016. Ryu's theme. Ken's theme. Chun-Li's theme. Zangief's theme. They all resonate with millions of people all around the world, and they've been around in some way, shape, or form for many, many years, and they'll continue to do so, whether you're playing Street Fighter V today, or you're fighting Ryu in space. Seriously though, in the DLC for Azura's Wrath, you fight Ryu in space. So that's where he's always wandering off to when he thinks and walks for a long time aimlessly. When you're a hobo karate man, space is your home.
Number 9.
You know, now that a lot of time has passed since my review of this legendary game, Shadow of the Colossus is objectively better than the review I gave it. I replayed it recently for this video, and the game deserves the praise that it gets. It still, however, isn't the game for me, but I understand it a lot more than when I first started the show almost 5 years ago. But even then, looking back at that video, the thing that still resonates with me is the soundtrack for this entire game. More specifically, for you old school fans of the show, the music track that plays when John and I had a really bad and horribly edited fight with my dog Boofy. Man, a lot of time has passed. In any case, my point is that this soundtrack, similarly to that of Guile's theme, truly can't go with anything. Whether it's something calm and serene as you putting stuff away, or it's something as dire as who drank the goddamn last Diet Peach Snapple, Chris.
I have one question and one question only.
Yeah?
Did you drink my last Diet Peach Snapple?
No, Gerard, I didn't drink your Snapple. I promise you I didn't drink your Snapple.
Are you sure?
I'm really, really sure, like 62% sure I didn't touch your Snapple, Gerard.
It was the one that had my name on it in Sharpie.
Yeah, I totally drank that.
You son of a bitch! How could you do that? I hate you!
It's just a Snapple.
It's just a Snapple.
Yeah, it's just a Snapple.
It's just a Snapple. Okay, it's just a Snapple. It's just a Snapple. You get home.
We have killed better men for less. Do you understand? And I'm gonna do the same to you! Let's go!
This music always works.
Number 8.
Mega Man X is so hot damn awesome, I cannot recommend it enough. If you've got a new 3DS, do yourself a favor and download this bad boy today. Episode 1 of the show, it's easily one of my top 10 games of all time, but that's a video for the end of our completionist journey. In the meantime, what makes Mega Man X so great besides its refined gameplay and suspenseful amplification of the Mega Man formula is in fact its music. Without a doubt, this game pushed the boundaries of music and sound effects designs in the 16-bit era. The intricacy of all the sounds in this game are top-notch. And if you need more proof, either watch Smooth the Groove's first video on Spark Mandrill or listen to the OC Remix album. In fact, just check out all of the OC Remix albums that are out there because almost every single game on this list here has its own OC Remix album. You know what? Stop the video real quick. I had to get this off my chest. A very, very big thank you to the entire OC Remix community. These guys do not get enough love. I honestly dropped the ball a lot with not crediting these guys in my episodes, but the work that every single person contributes to the gaming community, let alone their own, is wonderful. Truly, show your support today. All of their remixes are free to download from their website. Shout them out on socials today. Let them know I sent you. Much love to that community and all of what they do. But real talk, Mega Man X is goddamn metal. Can we all agree on that? Whoever said country, you're out. Mega Man X is not country.
Number 7.
You gotta love how I went from episode 1 of The Completionist to episode 2. Secret of Mana had that music that I would hum along to when I was a kid. My cousin Nick and I would dress up in wizard outfits and toss out spells while we were playing the boss battle music in the background. Or if we were hanging out in like a pub-like environment, we had the dancing animal tracks as we were rocking out, waiting for our next quest to begin. These embarrassing stories have got to make at least a few of you laugh. I know that maybe there's at least one of you out there that shared a similar experience. If not with this game, then maybe with a special game to you in your life. The music in this game is something that I will never forget. You can play me any track and I could tell you the exact time when you hear it, whether it's the first time or not, why it changes, and how the next track is even progressively better for telling the story. Story progression through soundtrack. Now that's the telling of an awesome game.
Number 6.
Very rarely do we have a brand new game come along and crush everything about itself. Art becoming art via imitation, if you will. This describes this game perfectly, and yet it doesn't at all at the same time. Now, this specific selection on my list was a three-way tie between Mother 3, Shovel Knight, and ultimately, Undertale. The soundtrack is complex, thought-provoking, and very diverse. I could literally say the exact same thing about the entire game for that matter. However, I've got a lot of strong feelings about Undertale, but more importantly, we made a 45-minute video talking all about the game. And while the takeaway of that video is yours and yours alone, nevertheless, the music in Undertale is astonishing. Top-notch stuff. I recommend the original music by Toby Fox, but if you're looking for something more robust, the Determination album by these two lovely gents right here is absolutely worth checking out.
Number 5.
We all know the big, grandiose story about Sonic 3 and Knuckles and the soundtrack for the game. Michael Jackson did most of the music for it, in case you didn't know. While that literally doesn't mean too much to me, I will say that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a sensory association game to me. Ooh, Gerard using big words that make sense to no one except for himself. What that means to me is that when I was playing this game, I remember my mom making me fresh, brand new lemonade and club sandwiches whenever I'd play. But more specifically, she made this incredible watermelon lemonade, and that smell, the taste of it, mixed with the sounds of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I will never, ever forget that. They will forever go hand in hand to me. The funk of the Genesis sound card mixed with the combination of Michael Jackson's composition and whoever else shadow finished the tracks makes for one incredible concoction of fun. Now, I've gushed long enough about this game in previous videos many times. If you want, you can check out one of my earlier videos on this game, or check out my playthrough on my Let's Play channel Super Beard Bros, or if you're a Game Grumps fan, I played it with them on their channel. Lots of Sonic 3 and Knuckles fun here, folks.
Number 4.
My 5 favorite films of all time are The Prestige, Back to the Future, V for Vendetta, Gladiator, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Edgar Wright is my favorite director of all time, and the films that he makes are truly ahead of their own time. And usually, video games based off of movies tend to really suck balls. But I guess in this case, this is more of a game based on an original comic that the film is also based on. Yet here comes Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the video game, and let me tell you, this one is toit. A simple beat-em-up heavily inspired by the comic with bits of the movie integrated in it, with a killer soundtrack by one of the best chiptune bands ever, Anamanaguchi. I've seen these guys perform at least 5 times now, and they are killer at their job. Their music is so freaking good. Every single track on this game is to die for. For a piece of media that's heavily inspired by video games and films, this game in itself is its own original love letter that should never be forgotten about.
Number 3.
The Legend of Zelda series celebrates its 30th anniversary, and if a franchise has ever advertised adventure and delivered on it every single time, it would be The Legend of Zelda. I'm a firm believer that your first Zelda is usually your favorite Zelda, and I am at the core of that feeling when it comes to my first Zelda and its awesome soundtrack, A Link to the Past. To me, A Link to the Past is where a lot of the roots of Zelda's current landscape of music came from. In my opinion, A Link to the Past is not only one of the best Zelda games, if not the best, but it set the bar for the franchise as it's carried on several musical motifs from that game onward. If you want something a little more updated for your tastes, go check out the game A Link Between Worlds, which is a total reimagining of A Link to the Past. I mean, they're both really good. I actually go back and forth between which one's my favorite every day. It's Tuesday? Yeah, Link Between Worlds. Friday? Nah, Link to the Past. Saturday? Majora's Mask, but only because it's Saturday. And I've got 3 days left to call my parents.
Number 2.
Banjo-Kazooie is quite... Okay, hold on. I just did a top 10 a few months ago, and I went on and on about how awesome this game is, but more importantly, it's because Grant Kirkhope, the composer, he's the most cool dude I know, and genuinely speaking, that dude is a G. But its soundtrack is one that will always be on my mind, kind of like the state of Georgia. I wake up and just think about the soundtrack, and immediately my day is just so much better. I'll hum it just about doing anything and everything. It's one of those soundtracks that when you hear those first 3 notes, you can instantly go, oh yo, that's Mumbo's Mountain, or oh damn, that's Bubblegum Swamp. Even the music in the overworld hub is freaking catchy. And in the end section of the game, they test you with sound effects and music, and each are so goddamn distinct, you'll walk away remembering every single piece of it. And the second one is just as good as the first. Grant Kirkhope! You're a fucking gangster, my man. I synced it.
Number 1.
There's many fantasy tales out there that will tell whimsical stories with wonderful music. For the gaming world, we've got a franchise that one would say is attempting to tell its final story. And at this point, it's told a lot of Final Fantasy stories, and perhaps there's actually one too many. I think there was one where you dress up and you go to the mall. Oh no, that's just the character. She's just a Gucci model, but still. Is it Gucci? Is it Versace?
Yeah, it's Gucci.
Is it Gucci? Lightning dresses up as Gucci.
It's both. It's both.
Versace and Gucci together. Vergucci.
For Gucci.
Got it. But it was around the 6th time where I was convinced that this title, this story right here, is my absolute favorite. A story about love, about magic and machines, about the fate of the world, and the goddamn Joker is in it! I'm talking about Final Fantasy VI. And if you don't know what that is, you got some Googling to do! The music in this game is so goddamn good that the actual tracks themselves are their own story. The emotional scale of this game is off the charts! My absolute favorite moment in the game is this opera scene where one of the main characters has to pretend to be an opera singer because they look alike, and the other characters in the party watch on as it unfolds like this romanticized ballet. For the love of God, if you've not heard the impresario, you've got some homework, my friends! I don't know why I'm so mad, I just love it so much. I could write several articles about this game. Screw it, I could write horrible BuzzFeed headlines to trick all of you into clicking on it just so you can hear the music. It's the best goddamn musical track of our time. Call up Einstein, get him out of the grave! He's playing games now! Zombie Stein! Get it! We have the tech! Final Fantasy VI is the greatest. So those were my top 10 original soundtracks from games. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, tweet at me on Twitter, because I'm verified now. That means I'm a real person. I'm a real boy, Dad. A real boy. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna beat the crap out of Chris. Shouldn't have taken my Snapple. Never take a man's Snapple. Never take a man's Snapple.
Ugh. You son of a bitch. Do you know how much I love Snapple? Not as much as I love beating the crap out of you. You're not a very nice person. You don't just take things. What do you say when you take something that doesn't belong to you? What was that?
I'm sorry, Gerard.
What was that?
I'm sorry, Gerard.
Better! Much better. Well, I'm done with you for now. You son of a bitch. You're coming in here? Get up here, you weakling. You think it's funny to stop a man from getting his Snapple? Huh? Oh, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm not making that YouTube money. I'm not making that Snapple money. So in the meantime, don't just tell me it's only a Snapple. You understand?
Yes.
What are you gonna do when you go home?
Shop.
Shop? What are you gonna get?
Snapple.
How many?
20.
What flavor?
Diet peach.
A little louder.
Diet peach.
I learned a lot here today, folks. Do not fuck with the man's Diet Peach Snapple, okay? Or you'll end up like these two punks. Don't do drugs. You son of a bitch.